Listen, I know it's 2026 and you're probably really tired of the AI hype videos, but Jitter's AI just gave me 5 animation options for my UI card design in less than a minute, which is great. I don't think it's perfect by any means, but I think it's actually pretty useful. Hey, my name is Ahmed, the founder of Effecto Design, and I help other founders and product teams build better brands, better websites, and better products. And in this channel, we'll talk about everything related to design. But for this video specifically, we're going to be talking about Jitter's new AI feature. They're calling it Jitter's AI Brainstorm. And it generates animation from the starting point of a static UI that could be either designed on Figma, so from your Figma designs, or you can actually design it inside of Jitter's canvas. But anyways, if you don't know motion design, I think this might give you a pretty decent final result. But if you're actually an experienced motion designer, so this can actually be a solid brainstorming fuel, which I guess that's why they're calling it the brainstorming feature. So we'll take a static design from Figma, import it into Jitter, use the AI to generate for us some initial animations, edit them quite a bit, and then end up with something hopefully that looks really good that we can use. All right, so here we're inside of Figma and we have a couple of cards. I'm just gonna pick one of these cards, which I already did down here. And I've literally just made a 1080 by 1080 frame and put that card inside. And let's see how we can export this or move this to Jitter. This is gonna be, just go to the plugins and just go to the Jitter plugin. It's called Jitter Animation for Figma. Very simply, we're just gonna copy this specific frame and we're gonna open it up in Jitter. That's gonna open up what we just exported to Jitter. Now, here is the AI brainstorming feature. Obviously, there's this little stars icon, and it's gonna be, hey, I'm Ollie, you need a spark, or let's brainstorm into a nice intro. I'm gonna start with, elegant. Let's brainstorm, and it's gonna start brainstorming for me. It usually takes a couple of seconds, and then it actually starts. It gives us, what it thinks in terms of an elegant or a cinematic animation. Not sure how a UI card can be cinematic, but we're gonna check out and see. That's now, as you can see on the top left, it's bringing it all to life. And there we have it. We have the first sort of animation, and I think it's utilizing here the masking in. But what I really like about this is it's actually the rhythm that's going on here. So it's getting the staggering properly, which is the top element, and is even starting with the left element first. So that's an interesting. It's utilizing the mask in effect. So let's actually, so it's like, as you can see, all of these animations are mask in effects, and it's selecting actual frames. It's using like simple rhythm just to come up with a nice entry animation. I think it looks nice. You know what, let's just try again. Let's try a cinematic approach, okay? So it's brainstorming again. It's gonna take some time, and we're gonna see how that looks like. Okay, all right, I like this. This is like the cinematic entrance, the blur in effect, blur scaling effect. Very interesting. I think I like this a bit more. Obviously, we can go ahead and see how other things look like, but you know what? We'll just take in the cinematic frame and let's add in some edits. Okay, let's just make this our own. And I think generally there's a nice blur effect for the actual contents of the card that's going on, and it's staggered pretty nicely as well. But I think the blur scale in of the whole card as the blurring in of these elements are happening inside the card is just too much. And there's like this initial 1.5 second that you don't even see what's happening. So I think what we can do is change the whole invoice to actually have a different animation, which is, I think, could be move and scale in. All right. So as you can see, it's sort of appearing much quicker, but there's like this delay here that I think we should actually bring back. So there we go. Let's see. All right. So it's a bit quicker. And I do think if I group all of this and make this a bit shorter, should stagger them a bit quicker. You can still see the staggering in happening. Okay, so this is blurring and sliding in. This could actually be slid by more pixels, so 80 pixels maybe, right here, so 80, and then this is 80 as well. I think this should be fine. This is just a regular fade in. I think I'm just gonna use the same sort of blur and slide in effect. Maybe I'll just take this and actually delete these two effects and actually just paste in the effect from. So let's see. All right, amazing. Nice. But I think these should be, the pixels here should be a bit more. Should be a bit less. So 50, and then we can actually increase the stagger quite a bit here. Nice. It's quite smooth. These are just fading in, which I think I'm fine with this for now. All right, I'm just gonna bring them back a bit. So that as soon as like the card settles in, everything is very clear. Now we can see like the contents of the card quite quickly. Interesting. Okay, I think this looks pretty cool for something that's AI generated. Okay, and let's have like a looping animation for this. So if we have, so obviously it starts with nothing, like just a gray background. So we need a way to transition the whole invoice card out. So I'm just gonna go ahead and go into new animation, out, and then we can have, I always try to avoid the mask reveal. It cuts it out in a weird way. And masking animations have their places, but for this specific use case, I do not think we should go ahead and use that. Let's see. Blur and scale out. I think this is a good effect. So this ends here. Let's see how this looks like if we're looping, okay? So it enters and then loops out. Obviously we need just to give the users a bit of chance to see our design. So enters in, stays for a bit, and then leaves out, then enters. Obviously can increase just the ending bit a bit here so that even when it fades out, there's a little bit of a delay before it actually starts replaying. Wow, very quick. In under 10 minutes, we have a pretty compelling animation here. And we've also explored other animations. And we can go ahead and explore more and more of these animation options. All right, so here's what I think about Jitter AI. I don't think it's replacing motion designers, at least not anytime soon. But it's definitely changing how we start projects, and it's definitely changing how we might think about certain keyframes. But yeah, anyways, if you want the exact Jitter file or the exact Figma file that we've used, or any of the other premium resources that we've talked about on the channel, or any of the premium resources that we're going to talk about on the channel, you can join Effecto community, which you can just join right now. It's a premium community, by the way, on Discord. You can join it by heading to Effecto.design and clicking on send premium invite link. That's going to actually take you to the premium community. It's now for free. It's not going to be free forever. Very, very soon, it's actually going to be with a monthly subscription. So if you happen to view this video when it's free, you can just grab your free join link now. But yeah, anyways, this is what YouTube thinks you should watch next. If you think the video added anything to you and it was helpful, please subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and I'll see you on the next one.